two things right now. Drake not being the person I remember, and myself becoming a person I no longer know. Drake's struggles with depression and mania were unbeknownst to me. I am almost certain my struggles with mania and depression were unbeknownst to him. But in my mind, my memories, I knew him to be strong. I knew him to be lively and personable. I knew him as a scholar, a fighter, an interrogator, an investigator. But what I didn't know of him, his talents such as painting and singing, his other family outside of the veterans community, his other interactions that collectively made him who he was, is in the very end exactly what pulled him down. Those hidden gems had jagged edges. They cut and they dug deep within Drake. The pain of carrying them, the weight, for so long. I only see his face in photographs that friends put up on Facebook in honor and dedication to him. Almost always wearing a smile or carrying a fire in his eyes. Drake Logan looked as though he could survive anything that came at him. Not because Drake was a badass. It was because Drake had already overcome so many things. Drake was officially the first trans man that I ever met. He introduced me into a world where people were not only people with tragedies, but people who had the courage to shape their lives and live on their own terms, in their own truth. But this world, doesn't always agree with such people and their existence. I remember Drake learning Arabic and heading to the Middle East in order to do scholarly study some years back. He had decided to go under the guise of a woman rather than face the life-threatening situation that came with him being discovered as trans. We all respected his decision. I mean, it made perfect sense. But underneath my own consciousness arose the question of could he live with having to do that in the long run? It was a question I never had the courage to ask. I now fear that was one of the many things that swung his mental pendulum back and forth between sanity and mania. Or maybe I'm just thinking too much on things. In transmission.